Hey, all, Baruch Levi B here from Soul Centered. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk to you today about something very specific, a program that I created called Choose Your Own Way. Choose Your Own Way is really based on the ideal by Dr. Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, my teacher, logotherapist. I'm a logotherapist. He created logotherapy, meaning-centered psychotherapy. And this famous quote that he has, that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And that's what Choose Your Own Way does. It gives you back what is rightfully yours, the only thing that you have power over in this lifetime, and that is your ability to stop reacting to your circumstances and start responding to your life, to take back the power of choice. We always have a choice. This is what I've experienced in my own life and the lives of the others I guide. And when we have that power of choice, we can choose how to move forward in our lives. This program is for you if you are at one of life's, what I call crisis crossroads. There's all kinds of crisis crossroads, from big to small, but when we're at them, we are paralyzed with indecision. We're in reaction, right? We take flight, we come out and fight, or we freeze, but we're in reaction. We're not driving the bus of our lives across that crossroads. We're allowing circumstances to tell us which way to go. Or many times we just don't go anywhere, which, by the way, as the band Rush taught us, not to choose is a choice. It's about taking back the power of our choice at these crossroads. I have seen so many people I know, whom I love, frozen at the crossroads, making bad decisions, sometimes by indecision, sometimes by rushing, by always coming from a place of fear, and nothing ever good comes when we are at a place of fear. That might be because we're going through a divorce and we have every right to be afraid and to be hurt, to be angry, all variations of fear. We may be having just lost a loved one, coming through that crisis crossroads, although I do have a program specifically for grief called Carry the Fire. That's a grief intensive, but this one certainly can help you at that crossroads. Maybe you're going through a professional crisis, or maybe it's not a crisis. Maybe it's a transition where you just know that there's something more out there for you and you need to find it and you don't know how to get it. Relationship struggles of all time. Maybe you're facing retirement and you just don't know which way to go. I could go on and on. You know the crossroads that you're at. Was it like pornography, like Chief Justice Potter said? It's hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. In the case of the crossroads, it's hard to describe, but you know it if you're in it. And you will be in it, and you'll be in it time and again. So I took best practice from the various places that I turn to when I'm in crisis. And I've been in many crisis crossroads in my life, and I talk about them in this program. So it's best practice primarily or heavily from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, available and accessible for anybody. You don't need to be Jewish. It's not a Jewish program. It's about wisdom from the Kabbalistic tradition, but also the Buddhist tradition. I have been a practitioner of mindfulness meditation for, a quarter of a century at this point. Yoga and the wisdom of Hinduism, but also not necessarily explicitly spiritual traditions. All kinds of self-help wisdom practices, but also logotherapy, the work of Dr. Viktor Frankl, whose idea is really the foundation of this work, along with Kabbalah. And so it breaks it down into 5 steps given to you, multimedia, so they're delivered to you in your inbox over 18 days. On the first of those days, you'll get different emails giving you 5 basic steps with journaling exercises, with audio meditations, with a video presentation, but it's all based around these 5 steps. Step 1, choose to make your stand. In this step, we go to the starting point, and the starting point of this journey through the crossroads is to stand still. It's sort of like if you've ever been lost in the woods. What do they teach you when you're lost? To stop going, to stop moving, to stop doing. Stand still. This has been my experience at the crisis crossroads. Some of us, depending on how you're wired, want to fight, want to take charge, want to take control, and so we do what we've always done. And it seems to have always worked, but it can't work in this situation because we've never been here before. So doing more is not the starting point. to learn how to stop, to stand still, to catch our breath, to get out of reaction, and to get back to, again, what Dr. Frankl talks about, response, the ability to respond to our circumstances, responsibility, the ability to respond to our life. That's step one. So over the course of those first 3 days in step one, you will work on choosing to make your stand. In step two, over the next 3 days, you're going to talk about or explore choosing to feel. And that may sound obvious, but I got to say, when I'm in crisis, I don't go to feeling. I put feelings off to the side. I see this all the time when I'm dealing with people in grief. It may seem like a person is dealing with their feelings, but they aren't necessarily dealing with their feelings. They're oftentimes just powering through. They're putting a stiff upper lip on. I'm fine, they'll say after they've just lost a loved one. I'm fine, and somebody will say after just going through a divorce. We challenge those notions. We make space. We create space for you to explore your feelings, to be real, to be open, to allow yourself to be shattered. That's what a Crisis Crossroads does. But from a Kabbalistic perspective, that shattering is not an ending. It's an opening. It's an opportunity. It's an invitation. As a great Kabbalist once said, there's nothing more whole than a shattered heart. And in this step, you're going to stand still, feel your feelings, and appreciate the opportunity that is there with you at the crossroads, no matter how dark or difficult it might seem. This is an opportunity and a program to be real, to stop faking it till you make it, and to start making it through feeling your feelings. In step three, the next 3 days, you're going to be exploring the step called Choose the True You. Love this step because if there's one word that if I have to kind of base my life upon, it's truth. Not just telling the truth, certainly that's a piece of it, but what is true? What is true in my life? What was true, is true, will always be true. Before the crossroads, during the crossroads, and after the crossroads, we help you find your truth, that North Star, and it isn't out there. You don't need another program. Okay, you need this program. You don't need this program. This program is here to empower you, and all good programs and books and guides out there should do that. But it should be about empowering, right? Giving you the power because you have it. The keys to the kingdom are inside of you. And in this step, we help you choose the true you. In step 4, the next 3 days, you're going to explore choosing to transcend yourself, a foundational idea for Dr. Frankl in logotherapy. When we are at the crossroads, understandably, we're in survival mode. But when we're in survival mode, it's about self-preservation, staying alive, staying afloat, one foot in front of the other, and that's an important starting point. It's just not enough, and it'll never get you through the crossroads. To get through the crossroads, we must get beyond our self, get to our true self, our authentic self, our spirit, whatever you want to call it. One of the ways we do that is through remembering whom we're here to serve. We are all here to serve somebody or something, a cause or person bigger than ourselves. When we get beyond ourselves, when we transcend ourselves, we tap into a power that is simply unstoppable. When Dr. Frankl was incarcerated during the Holocaust in 4 different concentration camps, one of the things he talks about that got him through was his love for his wife. She had already been murdered by that point, but he said in the book it mattered, but it didn't matter for him as far as his self-transcendence. He just needed to turn to that love, and his love for her, which was true and enduring and was ultimately bigger than himself. And that love, among other things, got him through. Transcend yourself. That's what you're going to choose in step 4. And last but not least, choose to own your power, because that's what this is about. When we get to the crossroads in our life, I don't care what kind of crossroads, personal or professional, no matter how big or how small, we outsource our power. We give it away. We become victims to our circumstances. I do not want to make you feel that you are acting the part of victim. When something tragic or horrific happens to us, we are victimized, undoubtedly. However, as Dr. Edith Eger, another Holocaust survivor and logotherapist, talks about, the difference between victim and survivor is the difference between asking the question, why me, and now what? Why me can never be answered. Why me is asking somebody or something to fill in the blank. But now what puts me back in the driver's seat. Now what is an answerable, actionable question? We can fill in the blank. We can take back the power of our lives from people, from the events, from places. We don't need anything outside of us. We need to go within us to choose to own our own power, for you to own your own power and transcend being a victim, to take back your power. And that's ultimately freedom. And that's what this program is about. It is about helping you move through those crisis crossroads with consciousness, with intention, with purpose, with direction, and with guidance. You are not alone. They are your crossroads and your crossroads alone. But others have been through similar crossroads from different wisdom traditions and different places in life. And what this program does is it brings them all together with my personal and professional experience woven into what I'm pretty proud of, an amazing multimedia program that you can learn more about. Look at the notes below this video. Contact me, info@mysoulcentered.org. Go to the website, mysoulcentered.org. And whatever you do, may you consciously, purposely, and powerfully move through your crisis crossroads, turning them into the most transformational experience in your life. Until the next time, Baruch Levi Bi, Shalom Salam Namaste. Peace.